Hey there my fellow Commander players, welcome back to my channel. It's time for another thrilling episode of Budget Power-Ups, a series about getting the most out of our Commander decks without breaking the bank. From explosive ramp spells and game-changing win conditions to clever combos and synergistic creature packages, we'll be exploring it all. My mission? To show you that you can compete with the best without maxing out on your credit cards. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep updated for more of my future Commander content. Now before we start, I'd like to quickly mention my friends at Pint Designs. They make fantastic playmats with amazing artwork. Their playmats are made with great care and are incredibly durable. So if you're looking for a top-notch playmat to up your Commander games, then I've got a great discount code for you and it's really easy to claim. Simply click the link that pops up now in the right hand corner of my YouTube video and it will direct you to a landing page which is offering an exclusive offer on Pint Design playmats for my YouTube viewers. Simply claim the coupon, add your email and away you go. You can even find the link in my YouTube description. I have also recently made a Patreon, feel free to check it out, the link is in my description below. Okie dokie, without further ado, sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Let's dive into these power-ups. Number 1. Buried in the Garden. An enchantment aura that costs 1 green, 1 white and 2 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Enchant land. When Buried in the Garden enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until Buried in the Garden leaves the battlefield. Whenever an enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any colour. Okay, Buried in the Garden is a neat little card. You get 2 great effects on 1 card. One being you get to exile something nasty an opponent controls, and the other effect being able to double down on a single land's mana value, allowing for excellent mana ramp as the bonus mana can be 1 of any colour. 4 total mana isn't too bad either, considering how you have access to green, and green decks are usually always stacked up with great mana flow. Buried in the Garden is a really efficient card and definitely worth picking up as a power-up. You can buy this card for around 35 cents. Number 2. Deadly Tempest. A sorcery spell that costs 2 black and 4 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Destroy all creatures. Each player loses life equal to the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way. Okay, this is one very handy board wipe that can excel massively against heavy creature focused decks, especially decks that run large amounts of tokens, as you'll be able to drain a lot of life from your opponents as well as remove their creatures. The more creatures a player has, the more life they will lose. In my opinion, it's always a good idea to run a couple board wipes in a deck, and Deadly Tempest is a great one that you can pick up on a total budget, as you can buy this card right now for around 70 cents. Number 3. Domineering Will. An instant spell that costs 1 blue and 3 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Target player gains control of up to 3 target non-attacking creatures until the end of turn. Untap those creatures, they block this turn if able. Okay, blue often struggles with dealing combat damage in Commander. Sure, they have access to some nice flying and evasive creatures, but you don't see so many high-powered creatures with trample, for example, in the blue colour. I feel like Domineering Will could answer this problem rather efficiently, as with this instant spell, you can pick and choose 3 mighty, powerful creatures from your opponents and use them against them. Pretty cool, right? Furthermore, you can also use this spell defensively, as you can cast it on your opponent's turn before they go to combat step and steal their creatures that they were likely going to attack with. Overall, Domineering Will is a great card that can act both as a defensive and offensive tool. You can buy this card for around 60 cents. Number 4. Worldsoul's Rage. A sorcery spell that costs 1 red, 1 green and X mana to cast. It says the following. Worldsoul's Rage deals X damage to any target. Put up to X lands from your hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. I love this card. Sometimes you need something big that can finish off your opponents in that late game with one final swoop. Worldsoul's Rage offers this for you, as you can pump all of your excess mana into it and deal 1 mighty blow to a target opponent, or even a creature that's causing a little bit of havoc or ruckus on the battlefield. And let's not forget the big icing on the cake. You also get to throw down X land cards from your hand and or graveyard straight onto the battlefield. making this card an absolute beast in any landfall focused deck. It truly is a wicked card, and you can buy this card for around $1. Number 5, Assault Intercessor. An Astardus warrior creature that costs 1 black, 1 white, and 1 generic mana to cast. It has 3 power and 2 toughness and says the following. First strike menace, chains world. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. Okay, so this card is a massively strong stack piece against any aristocrat style decks, which are very popular in the Commander format. Whenever an opponent tries to sacrifice something to do something cool, our Assault Intercessor is going to tax them 2 life, which over the game can stack up incredibly fast. Assault Intercessor isn't just good against aristocrat style decks, but against many other decks in the format, as there's always creatures dying here and there, yeah? So you're guaranteed to drain life from someone. Overall, this is a card that can highly benefit you if you're looking for passive life drain over the game, and you can buy this card for around 50 cents. Number 6, Connecting the Dots. An enchantment card that costs 1 red and 1 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Whenever a creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. You can't look at it. For 1 generic and 1 red mana, discard your hand, sacrifice Connecting the Dots, put all cards exiled with Connecting the Dots into their owner's hands. Okay, so we all know that one of Red's weaknesses in Commander is the lack of card draw it offers, and the speed Red players tend to lose cards in their hand is incredibly fast. This is because Red is an aggressive colour and after all aims to finish off opponents as quick as possible with as many low casting yet menacing spells as they can. Although this rapid gameplay is incredibly fun to play, it can be rather tilting when you're stuck with no cards and your opponents are so close to 0 life. Connecting the Dots is a great card that can remove this problem for us and can maybe help us win the game, as it's a great amount of value offered from the card for what feels like a small trade-off in my opinion. You can buy this card for around 50 cents. Number 7, Basilisk Collar. An artifact equipment card that costs 1 generic mana to cast and says the following. Equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink. Equip 2 generic. How can you not like this card? So much amazing card text on this beautiful card, and it only costs us 1 generic mana to cast, and a rather small equipment cost of just 2. You get Lifelink and Death Touch. You can't really complain. This is one super solid card, and I'm a big fan of it, especially in Voltron style decks. It's just very efficient and always feels relevant at all stages of the game. You can buy this card for around $1. Number 8, Jun Charm. An instant spell that costs 1 green and 1 red and 1 black mana to cast. It says the following. Choose one, exile target player's graveyard, or Jun Charm deals 2 damage to each creature, or put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Okay, Jun Charm. It's a solid card with 3 fantastic options, making this card very versatile. We can either exile a graveyard, shutting down any graveyard recursion shenanigans. We can board wipe, so all the small creatures on the board can disappear. As long as they have 2 or less toughness, of course, so this works wonders against small toughness tokens. And we can even choose to add +1/+1 counters on target creature. Jun Charm's options are all very good, all very versatile, and very beneficial, and the card can definitely do a lot of excellent work. You can buy this card for around 35 cents. Number 9, Dissipation Field. An enchantment card that costs 2 blue and 2 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Whenever a permanent deals damage to you, return it to its owner's hand. Okay, so Dissipation Field is a pretty funny card and can really wind some opponents up, as it definitely makes people not want to attack you. Because players hate having to recast their permanents. Why cast something again when you've already cast it? Us Magic players are all very greedy and enjoy playing as many spells as we can and stacking up our board state as much as we can, so we don't want to lose anything really, which makes Dissipation Field a great defensive tool, stopping people from wanting to attack you. There is one weakness though that I must highlight, and I've had this problem before in some of my Commander games. If you control Dissipation Field and an opponent has a creature with a very potent and powerful enter the battlefield ability, then Dissipation Field can actually work in their favour, as they'll be able to recast and abuse that creature's ETB over and over again, if they do choose to attack you, as you have the Dissipation Field. So yes, keep that in mind. But anyway, usually this card does wonders. Great defensive tool indeed, and you can buy this card for around 70 cents. Number 10, the last card on my list. Brawn. An incarnation creature that costs 1 green and 3 generic mana to cast. It has 3 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Trample. As long as Brawn is in your graveyard and you control a forest, creatures you control have trample. Brawn is an excellent green creature card in the commander format of Magic the Gathering. It provides a powerful boost to a creature's attack, giving it trample, while Brawn is in your graveyard, making it a solid choice for graveyard themed decks. In Commander, where games often go long and involve multiple opponents, having access to strong creatures with synergistic abilities can be very valuable. So overall, Brawn can be considered good in Commander decks, especially if it fits well with the deck strategy and theme. And hey, in simple terms, if you're playing big stuff and you want to give that big stuff trample, then Brawn is fantastic for you. And you can buy this card for around 50 cents. Okay everyone, we have come to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for making it this far. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel. I would really like to know if you have any recommendations on a budget upgrade for Commander. If you do, please share it in the comment section below. I love reading your comments and always try my best to answer them all. Thanks for watching everyone, and as always, take care and goodbye.